Saturday, February 21st, 2026, AGNDD until I report topic. A lonely baby monkey wins hearts and even a few friends. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this partially AI-generated article-based video. A lonely baby monkey wins hearts and even a few friends. Legions of fans from around the world have been cheering on Punch, a 7-month-old macaque who had been struggling to socialize at a zoo outside Tokyo. By Remy Tuman, New York Times, February 19, 2026. Punch, a 7-month-old macaque monkey, had no friends. His mother abandoned him. He wasn't quite fitting in with the other monkeys at Ichikawa City Zoo outside Tokyo. The closest thing he had to loved ones were the zookeepers who look after him, and a stuffed animal from IKEA. But a series of widely shared posts showing his predicament, including a hashtag started by the zoo, #HangingTherePunch, have put Punch in the global spotlight and made him somewhat of an internet celebrity. Legions of fans from around the world have been cheering Punch on, welcoming him as a bright spot during intense current events. There's little question as to why. Punch is adorable, and there are signs he has started to gain confidence with the other monkeys. Born in July at the Ichikawa City Zoo, about 20 miles outside Tokyo, Punch was abandoned by his mother, most likely because of a difficult labor during a heat wave, according to zookeepers. He was nursed by staff. He was reintroduced to the troupe at the zoo's monkey enclosure called Monkey Mountain in January, but without a mother to show him the way, Punch had a difficult time integrating. Videos showed Punch getting swatted away by adults when he tried to approach them, and frequently playing by himself. "My mission in life now is to rescue Punch from the horrible monkeys he's with and make him my baby," one social media user wrote. He wasn't totally alone. Punch was given a now famous stuffed orangutan toy to build muscle strength. He cuddles, tugs, and plays with the orangutan, dragging it around the monkey mountain like he would a best friend. However, things may finally be looking up for young Punch. Videos recently shared online show Punch climbing on the back of another monkey, getting groomed, sitting with the adults, and receiving a hug, all signs that he is finally learning how to make friends. Takashi Yasunaga, who leads the Ichikawa Municipal Government's Zoo and Botanical Gardens Division, said via email that Punch had been wary of the other monkeys when first introduced to them last month, but he is gradually acclimating. Punch's mother is with the others at Monkey Mountain, Mr. Yasunaga said. It's not uncommon for some Japanese macaques, pronounced mukak, to abandon their babies for a number of reasons, he said. Punch was his mother's first baby, and it was also very hot when he was born, all factors that could have led to his abandonment. But now Punch has an active and fearless personality, Mr. Yasunaga wrote, and will proactively try to communicate with other monkeys. Punch is, no surprise, the star of the zoo. About 8,000 people visited the zoo last weekend, more than double the number of visitors on the same Saturday and Sunday of the previous year, Mr. Yasunaga said. More are expected this weekend. Shunpei Miyakoshi, an animal keeper at the zoo, told ANN News in Japan that baby monkeys cling to their mothers for security and to build muscle strength. The zoo tried rolled-up towels as a substitute, Mr. Miyakoshi said, and even a giraffe. But Punch particularly liked the toy primate. Mr. Miyakoshi named him Punch after a famous Japanese cartoonist, Kazuhiko Kato, who went by Monkey Punch, he told the outlet Oricon. Kosuke Kano, another animal keeper at the zoo, told TBS Newsdig that Punch almost immediately took to the stuffed animal, and it has now become a sense of security. That was evident in a video that surfaced on Thursday of a senior macaque going after Punch, only for the little monkey to run away to be comforted by his plush toy. The zoo has 2 versions of the toy and has received many other stuffed animals as gifts, including a batch from IKEA, where the toy is listed as a bestseller. Over the past few days, we have seen a clear increase in sales of the Jungle Skog orangutan toy, particularly in Japan, the US, and South Korea, IKEA said in a statement, though the company would not say how many toys had been sold. What matters most to us is not that he holds on to our product. Karen Blind Pedersen, a leader on IKEA's children's toy team, said of Punch in a statement, but that he is supported at his own pace, and that his soft toy friend can continue to help him cope until he is fully ready to let go. Hiroko Masuike contributed reporting. Comments. West Coast, California, February 19th. After reading and commenting on some of the news of today, I am so glad to have read this story. I'm not only glad for myself for having read this story, I'm glad for the monkey to find the acceptance in his community that he craves. I'm pretty old and I thought all my tears dried up years ago. This story really choked me up. Scooter Danby's, Philly, February 19th. Primates, and in particular rhesus macaques, are very social animals that like in a matriarchal society. As a newcomer with Mo inherited social rank, it is amazing that this little fellow was accepted into their ranks and found a grooming partner. Thanks for the coverage. Jan, New Jersey, February 19th. A sweet story on a day when there's so little cheer. Thank you. Hang in there, little Punch. We're rooting for you. Spencer, St. Louis, February 19th. Thank you for this lovely story. It brought some much-needed comfort and happiness and could teach us all a lesson about the importance of others in our lives. Go, little Punch. Emily, Denver, February 19th. There must be something about this IKEA toy. Our 7-year-old lab has the same one and carries it around like her baby, even on walks. We get so many comments and adorable stares on our walks. We even bought an extra one just in case her original one got lost because she's so attached to it. Diana M., London, UK, February 19th. Wow, is there anything more heartbreaking than watching any baby of any species being rejected? His hardy determination to drag along his stuffed orangutan everywhere just about did me in. Momo B., February 19th. IKEA should take it upon themselves to donate a portion of their plush monkey sales to the zoo to support conservation efforts. I'm a bit distressed they haven't already done so. Donating some plush to the zoo is not enough. Amrita, Canada, February 20th. I feel very differently from most readers, apparently. Reading this article made me nauseous. If he had been born in the wild, I would think his intelligent mother would have looked for the coolest place to give birth. Zoos are such stressful, unnatural environments for their unhappy inhabitants, and all so that they make money and we humans get to ooh, ah, and laugh at species we view as inferior and worthy of captivity. His unhappy start to life could have lifelong effects on the poor little babe. J.T., New Jersey, February 19th. Okay, I'm openly weeping and sending that little guy a big hug. If only we all had the capacity to feel protective of our fellow primates in distress. It doesn't have to be all of us, just a supermajority of those who vote. Sending love for every gesture of kindness and welcome to that little guy, and for every gesture of kindness and welcome to anyone anywhere. Annette Liner, Washington, D.C., February 20th. Such a gallant little guy. Delighted that he is overcoming his difficult start and making friends with his fellow macaques. Demonstrates how important social acceptance and positive attachments are. It's so important that Punch was treated well by the zookeepers and given his toy orangutan. MT, February 20th. This is extremely distressing to me, and this article plays it off as a cute little story. It is a horror story showing the underbelly of humanity. To keep those monkeys in a concrete enclosure is abhorrent, and subjecting that baby monkey to loneliness and ostracism is extremely heartbreaking. People are truly evil. Lulu Roche, CD, February 20th. What a little sweetheart. I wish him happiness and joy and a trip to IKEA toy department. Big kiss, Punch. Casey, Oregon, February 19th. My heart hurts for this poor monkey and his mom. My mom went through an extremely difficult labor with her first child, and it impacted their relationship for life. My mom essentially rejected her. With my first baby, I had a difficult and traumatic birth experience. but I did a ton of work to ensure we overcame it and that I didn't project it onto my baby as she grew up. These poor monkey moms don't have therapy. Ellis 6, Sequim, Washington, February 19th. The way human beings treat other animals is cruel. Primates do not belong in captivity for the amusement of people. Neither do elephants, or predators. Given enough space to roam, there may be browsers and grazers that can lead relatively good lives free from predators, but how many facilities are there like that? The entire idea of zoos is wrong. The claim is that people will see the animals and come to love and support them, but is that really what happens? I don't believe it. What zoos do is keep animals in mostly very unnatural surroundings. The message I see is, we can deprive animals of their natural lives for our amusement. They can't live anything like a normal life, so what we see is not the real animal. Around the world, most people are not showing respect for animals in the wild. Rather, we are devouring habitat and pushing increasing numbers of species toward extinction. While there may be some people who visit a zoo and fall in love with some animals and even devote time, energy, and money to protecting animals in the wild, that really doesn't seem to be anything approaching the dominant lesson being learned. Another commenter wrote that this is a wonderful story, and technology allows him to watch this poor macaque grow and thrive. But will Punch thrive? Human beings need to show vastly more respect for other species and begin to limit our own demands so that there will be habitat remaining in perpetuity for those species that can still be saved. Brunella, Brooklyn, February 20th. Sweet little Punch, hang in there. Glad to read he's slowly gaining friends. I wish one of the other adult females would adopt him as her own. Four Winds, NJ, February 19th. Why did that senior macaque go after him like that? He was minding his own business. Is his mother among the monkeys on the mountain? Does she know who he is, and does he know her? I'd really like to know more about that. This story literally made me cry yesterday. So much cruelty in the world. Remy Tuman, breaking news reporter, at Four Winds. Those are all good questions, thanks for asking. The zoo just put out a statement explaining that the adult monkey who went after Punch was probably the mother of another monkey with whom Punch tried to communicate with. The zoo said the mother probably felt that her baby was annoyed by Punch and got upset. As far as Punch's mother, she is still among the other monkeys. It's unclear if Punch knows who she is. The zoo, in that same statement, also said people should support Punch's effort to fit in rather than feel sorry for him. Moth 27, Australia, February 19th. We rarely see follow-ups to these kinds of stories that tug at the heartstrings, but gee whiz, I hope the Times finds a way to do so. Be strong, little Punch. Our sad human world needs to read and see more of you and your new friends, macaque or IKEA branded. One Hearts. Remy Tuman, breaking news reporter, at Moth 27. That's a fair critique. I'll make a note to try and check back in with the zoo in a few months and see how he's doing. Thanks for the suggestion. West Coast, California, February 19th. After reading and commenting on some of the news of today, I am so glad to have read this story. I'm not only glad for myself for having read this story, I'm glad for the monkey to find the acceptance in his community that he craves. I'm pretty old and I thought all my tears dried up years ago. This story really choked me up. Remy Tuman, breaking news reporter, at West Coast. Thanks so much for your kind note. I'm glad it brought you some joy. Punch's story seems to have resonated with so many folks of all ages.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Intel I Report, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.